Alrighty, time for my first league match of the season. Once again, first match will be versus Qsenoch. Last time was a 4-2 result. What's going on here? We got Guard Dog for draw, as well as, I already noticed, Druid has Will-O-Wisp here. Courtyard's draw. We got Rusty Village and Village for Villages. Plus buy Tiara. Trashing Investment. Pretty normal looking kingdom. I got the 2-5. Probably I want Druid. You make a good case for Courtyard, but it's hard to say no to Will-O-Wisps. Rapid Expansion will probably activate at some point. I think there's nothing like super important here. For the most part, pretty normal looking kingdom. Investment will be pretty good potentially because there's a lot of treasures around. Late in the game, butterflying your 4 cost in the duchies could be a relevant thing that you do. Take a relic. Alright. Mick takes Druid and an investment. Probably couldn't afford a relic, although even on the 5-2, I don't think investment is clearly worse than relic. I'll take 1 now. Oh no! Oh no! Where's my Druid at? Disaster. I suppose this is Tiara. It could be flagship as well. Has a nice upside if I don't collide with the Druid, but it's a little bit sad if I do. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have been great if this were flagship either, but I don't love seeing the Tiara with neither of the nice cards. Let me top deck something good. Probably just another Druid, I think. And a village. Yeah, just a village. How did mixed turns go? Turn 3 bought a Tiara. Turn 4 played the Druid. So Mix investment missed the shuffle, but he did get to play the Druid. I'm gonna guess the shuffles are probably looking slightly better than mine, but not a big deal. I think I want an anvil here, maybe. I probably want to collect a variety of treasures, and I also want cards costing 4 or less. So I'm gonna say anvil looks pretty good. Even on the Will-O-Wisps for now. Hopefully I win that split. I've got an additional Druid, but my Druid's maybe a little bit more shy thus far. Plus 1 coin, buy an anvil. I don't love the proportion of my cards that end up at the bottom each time. Interesting. Makes sense. I was wondering why Mick chose not to play the guard dog, but he's probably got a village or something in hand, in which case he'll get to activate it. Second flagship, I think. So if I'm not mistaken, my bottom 2 cards are Druid and Flagship. If I play that Will-O-Wisp here, it has a 50% chance of drawing. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah. Probably I have higher odds if I play the Village first and then the Will-O-Wisp. I don't mind the idea of playing Will-O-Wisp first. If the flagship's on the bottom and I whiff, I play the village, I play the flagship, I play the druid, but then I get a clean shuffle, and the flagship, the druid, the two wisps are all going back into the shuffle, which is a pretty good argument uh, for intentionally whiffing if possible. Otherwise, I trigger a shuffle, I draw one card into the shuffle. The shuffle's not terrible, but it's not great either. I don't know if the upside of that is high enough. Oh yeah, I'm definitely behind here. So the one thing that went poorly about Mick's early turns was his investment bottom decked, as I recall. But he's already trashed more than I have. I'm presuming because probably on later turns he lined up his investment with his Tiara, and I did not. Alrighty. We did get, ironically, the thing that we wanted, which was for the Will-O-Wisp to miss. And I'm thinking just Village plus Courtyard on top. Yeah. Yep, yep. So Mick is either drawing his deck this turn or pretty darn close to it. I'm guessing that I'm not going to be doing the same quite so soon, but you never know. Mick prioritizing Earth's Gift over Swamp's Gift on Druid. Don't know if I could. I mean, the fours are not bad. It's not unreasonable. All right, probably stopping here. Put the flagship in play for next turn. Haven't found plus buy yet, though. Problem is, if I draw into my druid, I can't play it anyway. And if I reveal Tiara, I couldn't draw it. I think I'm going to go ahead and play this. Yeah. Can't play both, but I think I value the plus buy enough that this was probably a positive outcome. More Will-O-Wisp. Plus one coin. And Village and Guard Dog. I do need to find my other village here. If my other village is at the bottom, I am going to end up being a little bit sad that I didn't get the flagship down. With flagship and cantrips, you often need either you need to have a flagship in play from the previous turn, or you need one village to get the ball rolling. Because like with two actions, you can play flagship, Will-O-Wisp, get the two actions back. Flagship, Will-O-Wisp, get the two actions back as many times as you want. But you can't, from like this starting hand, lead with the flagship and still play Will-O-Wisp. So I either need to have played this on the previous turn, or I need to play at least one village first. Yeah, at this point, I think I'm pretty far behind. I think most of the uh, reason at this point is just the snowball effect from earlier. I don't think my shovels have been horrible. I'm just finding a little too much of the good stuff on the bottom. I do think I regret the relic. Might have been a mistake. The attack is not nothing. I think the thing I overlooked was Guard Dog is a decent counter to it. Yeah, if Mick is already he's already far enough that he's gaining and playing stuff mid-turn here, I think I'm maybe a little bit more behind than I even thought I was. It's a lot of cards trashed. What if maybe Mick's behind after all because he's trashed too many of his cards? So how's he going to get all the investment victory points if he has nothing left to trash? Village, please. Village, please. Village, please. God dang it. It's literally the very bottom card of the deck. Ah. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, that's how it's gonna be. I'll put a rustic village on top and a flagship on top. A guard dog and a courtyard. Don't think I'm gonna top deck that one. There's the village. That hurt. That definitely hurt. Piles are low. I don't know if I can do anything about that. My deck is not under control, but flagship village druid, for example, could pile. Probably. That's not. I mean, I wouldn't entirely rule out that that's something we could do this turn even, but I'm guessing not quite there. Oh, that's got to be a mistake, right? Am I missing something? How did that happen? So Mick plays a village. Mick has a flagship and a guard dog in hand. Plays the flagship first and then the guard dog. He guarantees he draws 6 cards, but he also guarantees that his turn ends immediately. Why would you not lead with the guard dog? I'm surprised by that choice, to say the least. Okay. Can I get the guard dog to activate here? I do believe I can. Discard 2 to draw 1. My hand is a tad smaller. Now I'm going to play flagship and then guard dog, but my turn's not going to end at the end of this. We're probably in the territory where I should buy fleet. Better safe than sorry. I think I have enough actions. So if I flagship Will-O-Wisp, I get actions back. If I flagship Courtyard, I guarantee that I draw 4 total cards. I'll play one more of these. I think I'm going to double the Will-O-Wisp. I got 2 druids that I want to play.
Future me here. You're about to notice that there are a number of possible pilouts available this turn, and you're probably going to end up wondering, why does he not seem to notice that? Or for that matter, even be considering the possibility that one could empty 3 piles to win the game in this position? And I just want to let you know in advance, you are never going to get a good explanation for that, so don't get your hopes up.
There's 4 Will-O-Wisps left. I think it behooves me to at least try to gain and play one of these flagships. Okay. And maybe a second investment, which I pop for points. We're quite close to the end of the game. We've got to buy fleet. Yeah, otherwise I think I want points. I think this game is going to end very soon. Trash for VP. Could be more. Could have a gold or a silver. I haven't managed that quite yet. I think I'm going to pop this one for victory points too. And then if I want more, I can regain them. Mid-turn off of the druids. And then would I rather double the anvil? Anvil gaining me 4, but at the cost of discarding a copper. It's like 3 money. I think I do value the 4s probably. There's no benefit in doubling the relic attack. It would just be taking extra money if I really wanted to hit province or something. I definitely want to buy fleet. And otherwise, I don't think I want the victory cards quite yet. Fleet should be enough protection against losing next turn. Let's top deck a rustic village. Top deck a flagship. Put a guard dog on top. Now I have a good turn coming up. And what else? Gotta buy the fleet. Almost forgot about that. And I think I'm just gonna take one more investment. Could also be like silver plus courtyard or silver plus druid. Think about the investments. So I will not be surprised if Mick piles out this turn. My hope is that if Mick piles out, I can score enough on the fleet turn. If Mick doesn't pile out, I'm definitely going to try to pile up myself. In general, it is advantageous, even with fleet, when your opponent gets an extra turn. You would like to trigger the thing. Because if it's your turn, and then you trigger a pile out, you both get one more turn. Whereas if you wait, your opponent gets an extra turn, piles out, and then you both get an extra turn. So the same dynamics apply, just a little bit less strictly with fleet around. So he'll, I would expect, score some amount by fleet, pile out guard dogs. Probably the most likely. Oh, huh. You know what? Actually, maybe I'm still in a little bit more trouble than I thought. All of a sudden, after Mick's dud over there and me having a good turn, I thought I was back in a good position. I think I'm actually still in more danger than I was letting on, because rapid expansion is going to hit. If Mick can pile out and buy fleet, which does not sound beyond their own possibility, Mick has time to take advantage of this, which should be a pretty dang big effect, whereas I'm only getting one more turn and don't have the time to take advantage of it. In fact, if anything, it shuts off my turn, because I would want to gain and play stuff off of my druids, and I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, so actually, I think Mick is still probably pretty favored to win, provided he plays both Rustic Villages, buys a bunch of guard dogs, then all those trigger at the start of turn. And then we'll both have one more turn, but his turn is going to be a lot better than mine. We'll see if that manages to hold true. Maybe he doesn't have enough gas in the tank to pile out here. One can hope. I think even if Mick can't manage to score, if he can manage to pile and buy fleet, he'd definitely do that. Well, so what's he got in his hand right now? He has an anvil, he has a tiara, he has a druid. Yeah, tiara, the anvil, that's 2 buys and 2 more gains. So effectively 4 buys. A 5th buy with druid. 6th gain off of Earth's Gift. So I think at least by number of gains, he does have enough empty guard dogs and buy fleet. Does he have enough money for that? Also, probably yes. So if he has 3 coppers, for example, in his hand, Anvil discards 2 of them, Druid discards 1 of them, he gains 3 guard dogs, he needs 6, 11 money, which he would definitely have at that point if he had TR'd an Anvil for 2 additional money. That'd be 10. Hey, he's got a fly. Yeah. Um, oh, silver. That's not a guard dog. Maybe you have different ideas of where this is going. We'll see. He has the. Oh, wait. I have 2 rustic villages, right? And Mick only has 1. It doesn't meaningfully change what I said before, except that it means Mick would have to play flagship followed by rustic village to activate rapid expansion in time. Has he played all of his flagships? Yeah. Oh. I wonder if the draws didn't work out. Maybe his rustic village bottom decked or something. No, because he had all of his cards in hand by the time he did this, and he very intentionally chose. Okay, now, so that's how he's going to activate it. Interesting. I don't know what exactly is in his hand, but I'm a little bit surprised at the choices that are being taken here. Uh, so he can play 2 rustic villages, and he can get rapid expansion to activate. But it looks like he's going out of his way a little bit, taking the silver and the rustic village off of druid. I wonder if he's still gonna be able to pile this turn. Again, I think if you can pile out here, there's a pretty big advantage to doing it. It doesn't guarantee you win, but it's much better than letting me do it. Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to. So yeah, yeah, I'm not seeing that right. Maybe he still got it. Nope. Yes, maybe. Huh. So had he not played the silver, he could have played Tiara, Anvil, discard Copper, Silver, gain 2 guard dogs. Then he would need 9, 14 money, but he would only have 13, so he would have been one short, I think. Okay. So definitely I want to try to pile this turn. 100%. Doesn't guarantee I win either, but I'd rather we both get one more turn than Mick gets 2 more turns and I get one. Copper makes sense. If you're only getting one more turn and it gets played for free, that's just one free money. You're never going to have to experience the downside of having copper in your deck. Discard. Would have loved to find a village first. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Please don't dud. I'm pretty sure I'm going to dud. Oh my. When I was just hoping that maybe I'd clawed my way back. Disaster strikes again. I even stacked my hand with village and a garden. Mm-mm. Things are not quite working out today, are they? I have plenty of villages. I do not have a shortage of villages. They're just all hiding in the bottom. Well, I think we're back to losing now. Shoot. That's a disaster. That is just a total disaster. How does investment work with Tiara? You can't double it. If you try to choose the second effect twice, you can trash it once, and then the second time you fail to trash it, and so you fail to do the rest of that effect. Rapid expansion is active, and yet I'm only gaining one thing. My odds now of winning, I think, are pretty much equivalent to the odds of Mick dudding. Maybe he has a bad turn too. He has also stuff set aside though, so that's probably not. I think I've just lost the game off of this draw. Yeah, not much to be done here. There's not even anything I can draw that looks particularly, or anything I can buy that looks particularly good. I can't buy like an investment because it would trash at the start of my turn for very few points. I couldn't buy a gold or a silver to pump up my investment because it's going to be in play already. I can't buy guard dog because that lowers a relevant pile. What would I even take here? Courtyard is also potentially a very relevant pile to lower. Can't buy Druid because it's going to make my flagship fizzle on a card that isn't actions or draw. Man, this. The more I think about this turn, the worse it gets. Uh, what can I buy that even improves my deck at all? A duchy? Just take a duchy, I guess. I worry that I do need to buy another draw card because I just saw 2 of my guard dogs and a bunch of my flagships. The bottom 16 have a ton of villages, but maybe they have too little draw. So I guess courtyard is a safer of the two. This is lost. This is just so bad. Okay, we do have enough draw down here. Mick, if you could dud, that'd be great. Not expecting a whole lot, but would make me very happy. Yeah, it doesn't look like a dud to me. It looks like a full turn. I think from here it's just almost certain to be a loss because when Mick piles, he's going to pile a bunch of draw cards, and then he's going to have like a 15 card starting hand next turn. So we both take a turn, but Mick will probably have a points lead and probably have an even better deck at that point. Interesting. Very interesting. So Mick is choosing to empty the rustic villages as the relevant pile. I would think that would be my third option after guard dog and courtyard. I don't think you need 20 village effects next turn, and you'd rather just have a ton of draw. In theory, I would think the upside of rustic village is you can butterfly them all at the start of turn for duchies if you need. But Mick's fleet turn comes second, and so I would think the risk there is like, what if I take all the duchies? I don't know that my deck is capable of taking all the duchies because I got almost nothing in play from the previous turn. In terms of what makes you like 90 versus 95% to win, I would think. Just buy out the guard dogs or something. Or the courtyards. Probably even better because they're cheaper. Alright, yeah, so we're back in the fleet phase. If Mick were to somehow return a card to the pile now, the game wouldn't end because fleet only checks at the end of the turn. So if you were to butterfly a village, we wouldn't end the game. But once these piles are empty, it doesn't matter if we un-3 pile on the fleet turns. The game is still over. I think my number one goal, which I am far from certain I can accomplish here, is to take all the duchies. Because Mick can get all the duchies essentially for free off of all these rustic villages. Trouble is I kind of need to play these flagships the normal way to have a turn. Oops, I did not mean to click that. Just trying to play the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, how many duchies am I really getting here? Don't think the answer is all that many. And there's Butterfly the flagship. We'll take some points here. And how many duchies can I acquire? Probably at this stage, Tiara on Relic is better. Yeah, they get me a third duchy. No, it doesn't because I don't have enough buys. It doesn't get me a third duchy. Oh well. I don't think this should be too hard for Mick to beat. But you never know. Maybe he has a dud. No, he can't have a dud. If he had a dud, he wouldn't be doing this. He would just be playing on the rustic villages to have a full turn. This was a painful roller coaster. Fell behind a little bit early on. Managed to claw it back after Mick had a dud. And then on the final turn, where I was supposed to win the game, real nasty dud there in the end. With the power of hindsight, I think I wouldn't have opened Relic. I think Guard Dog is a decent enough counter here that I'd overlooked. Unfortunate finish.